The current spoiler warning level is butterscotch.
Friends and folks, for this episode, we're going to go with a spoiler warning level of butterscotch. The system was established to help people who are listening to the Great Gundam Project avoid spoilers as far as like anime the Great Gundam Project hasn't reached yet. And I still want to do that, but I think I also want to consider at this point, like, I bet we have a lot of people who listen, or at least some people who listen, who don't listen to the Great Gundam Project and are still would be worried about spoilers. So if you're a Great Gundam Project listener, you've caught up on that, there's no problem here. We're talking about some stuff from Gundam 00 Season 2. However, if you are not a Great Gundam Project listener, and you haven't seen Gundam 00, I would say this stuff is moderately spoilery, right? We're talking about machines from Season 2, and we're talking some details of them that would be low-key spoilers, little small spoilers. So keep that in mind. Please enjoy the episode. Hello, friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of Mechanista in G. I've been thinking about learning to let go. I'm 6 step more.
I'm going, let go of what?
Well, that's the thing, right? So we were talking, you mentioned Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, which is a CRPG set in that setting, and talking about how ridiculous it is that basically anyone's alive in that setting given how insane everything is run.
Uh-huh.
And so when I was a kid and I was watching Gundam Wing, I liked the show. I was having fun with it. And it wasn't like an objection of mine, but it was like it was like an itch in my head where I was like, but this doesn't make sense. There's no way they could possibly turn around production lines this fast. How do they switch to this new model of mobile suit and get a production line running so fast? That doesn't make any sense. Factories take so much time to operate and set up, right?
Yeah.
This is me at 13. And that kind of thinking has dogged me my whole life. And the thing is, I mean, okay, sure, I'm not wrong, right? Earlier this year, you had people who were trying to explain to random folks of no, you don't understand. It's not as simple as just move your factory to America, right? Mm-hmm. But you just gotta let go. Yeah. It's fine.
Oh, we're yeah, and yeah, it's just, man, which I know is the point of the setting too, right? It's just I'm just making decisions, and I'm just maybe I just have to embrace being evil if I'm playing this, because there's just no way around it, because everything. Mm-hmm. This setting is just like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know, when you are playing as a human and you are part of the Imperium, it's kind of impossible to not be part of the Imperium generally, and you just hit this thing where you're just oh, this is just I don't know. The setting is just an awful place to live, which again is the point. But it's just, I guess it's just funny when I bring my own sensibilities into it, when I'm just
there's no ethical consumption under the Emperor.
Yeah, I'm just well, why wouldn't I trust a Xeno at random? What's wrong with Xenos? I don't get it. I think the Tau sounding collectivist sounds pretty good, actually. And then it's well, that's the whole problem, isn't it? Is in the setting, the whole problem with the Xenos is they are different from us and will introduce different forms of thinking, and that is evil because that is against what the Imperium... it's just not how my brain thinks about things, even though I know why the setting is like this. But I'm just man, playing as a human in this setting is hard.
And to be fair, I like the Tau fairly well as a faction. I like their units and stuff. Mm-hmm. Their collectivism does, by design, does have some pretty serious problems.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's every faction though, right? Is I met some
right.
I met some what are they? Eldrari? I met the elves, the space elves.
The Eldar, yeah.
Eldar,
sure.
yeah. And I'm just oh, you guys are also fucking weird. And I was reading about it, and I'm just oh, does just every faction in this universe kind of have some way of sucking? And
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, it seems like so. Even the Tau, like, are not great. It's just, like, of all the possible factions I looked at, I'm just like, I kind of dig them. But yeah, no, they have their own problems.
They're
but it's just...
they're also intensely xenophobic and have a pretty wildly fucked up caste system.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's just like, man, I was digging into it though, and I'm just like, man, this is such a weird game to play. I mean, you know, this happens with any kind of like, I mean, I guess not any, but like, you know, it reminds me of when I'm playing a Star Wars game, and then the game like will have like a very hard codification of, you know, light side, dark side, etc. So it just makes you know what is good and evil in the universe and what is right and wrong. And 40K has like an inverse of it where it's almost just like an abject nihilism, you know, to everything.
I would say past almost. It is just an abject nihilism.
Yeah.
For sure.
So rather than like, you know, wherein you're playing a Star Wars thing and all the sides have been so codified that it's uncomfortable if you disagree, meanwhile, in the 40K setting, I'm like, I disagree with everything and I hate everything here. But it's also, yeah, it's just so weird. Game's really fun though. I'm having a fun time playing it, you know?
That's good.
Yeah. It's just me playing in the setting and I'm just like, man, this is so goofy. And then there are some minor things that come up where I'm like, oh right, this is British humor. It's still... But, like, not as much anymore, but, like, you hit something... Like the fact that the Eldar call all primitive other species, including humans, monkeys, but it's not spelled like that. Like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, you know.
Wait, how do they spell monkey?
Monkeigh. It's monkey, and it's a word for, like, a different species that were exterminated by the Eldar. But it's clearly monkey. And it's meant as, like, their disparaging term for, like, all non-Eldar. And it's just one of those things where I'm just like, oh, that's just, like... it feels like normal Warhammer humor, even, too, to me when I see that. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Or, like, you know, the names of some of the weapons are very goofy, like Meltas and stuff.
Sure.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. Also, while playing it, I'm just like, man... You know, I knew StarCraft was ripping off some of the stuff here, but I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is all... Warcraft and StarCraft are all just, like, American serial numbers filed off Warhammer and 40K.
They basically just took Warhammer and erased the religion, which, you know, there's merits to doing so. I'm not going to say I think the religion stuff in 40K is bad, but I can see why you'd want a version of it without it.
Okay, but the Adeptus Mechanicus are fucking fun. They're the ones I like, because they're fucking weird. I love them.
It's fair.
The ones, because they you know, they worship the Omnissiah. I love also, like, the inherent just hypocrisies going on with the entire, like, Imperium, where it's just like, okay, we all worship the Emperor, and we have our 3 tenets, and, you know, it's all, like, this, you know, we're very fastidious in this belief. Also, we need navigators, and we're never gonna say that they're mutants, though, even though they are clearly mutants. No, they are, these are just changes in them born from on high, and they are also nobility, so, you know, they're not mutants, but they are clearly mutants. And, you know what I mean? It's just, like, funny.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm sure it being like that is part of the point of how goofy it is. But, you know, it's just... What a weird series. The fact that some people take it seriously is the thing I think is really funny. Because this is clearly, like, a tongue-in-cheek setting.
Yeah. I think, for me, the worst part... Like, the most bummer part of the franchise is just that, like... 98% of media with it is just, here are the Space Marines, right? And it's like...
Well, that's why this game was interesting to me.
Right. Well, I mean, even then, you're still Imperium of Man. And, like, listen, of course I get that you're going to make people, like, the odds are you're going to make people play as human for just, you know, relayability purposes or whatever the hell. But it's just like, and I don't even think they're that like boring of a faction. I'm just sort of like, there's a lot more in this setting, and it's kind of exhausting. And it's just like, I want to drive a Tau mech.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally fair. The thing that's just funny to me is I'm just like, oh, I had no idea that there was other stuff going on like, just from a base understanding. I was like, oh, I don't have like there's not like a Marine in my party really. You know, I think that you get like one active like Space Marine later, but it's just funny because it's just like, oh no, this is just like, you know, that is not all of the Imperium is all Space Marines. You know, and I was just like, oh, okay, huh.
I haven't played it. From what I saw on mutuals on Twitter, it looks like there's a lot of Sisters of Battle stuff. Is that right?
There is one Sister of
Sword
Battle.
Nuns.
You have.
Oh, okay.
So the party members in the prologue are your second in command guy, who I believe was like former Navy. Then you've got an unregistered psyker who your rogue, the prior rogue trader, kept around, and then a Sister of Battle. Obviously, the Sister of Battle and the Psyker do not get along for, you know, reasons that are kind of obvious there. Because she's an unregistered Psyker and is a little weird. Sees visions and stuff, but also is useful to the Rogue Trader. But yeah, no, the Battle Sister is really funny because she is simultaneously like the most we must protect every Imperial citizen, like surprisingly good about that. But also the most, like, I will put a bullet in the head of any heresy. And it's just, like, a very funny contrast, because, like, to contrast her to a guy you get in Chapter 1 named Heinrichs, who is an Inquisitor, and is very much, a little bit of taint went onto this planet, we should glass it from orbit. You know? And she is not like that. She is very much more like, no, we should try to save people and help them. But also, you know, that because they are noble, and it's just interesting, you know, like, not what I expected, I guess. And then you get, you also have in, early on in the game, you get, like, a tech priest guy, and they're fucking weird. All the technology is weird in 40k in ways I did not expect. I didn't realize that machines have souls that need to be whispered to and coaxed into cooperating with you, including having to, like, perform rites for the machines. It's a very weird setting. Yeah?
No, I'm rolling die.
Oh, you're rolling die?
That's fine.
Yeah. Alright. But yeah, anyway, it's like I said, neat game. I haven't played the other games by Owlcat. They did like the Pathfinder ones, but I'm liking this one. Complaints about just thinking the setting's really dumb aside.
Well, okay. This was good. There, I'm reacting to
yeah,
roll,
I figured.
But this was gonna happen eventually.
All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Is this one of the heads?
Yep, this is the Ahead. This is the base Ahead.
Okay, yeah. I recognize the color immediately and the shapes going on. So
and the disappointment in
yeah, I kind of figured there too. Yeah, the Aheads are a weird one because these are a Kenji Terioka design from Gundam 00, and we will talk about them.
Yeah, I don't. I think you like Terioka's work broadly more than I do. I don't hate it, but I find a lot of his.
I don't like the Ahead,
I don't
though.
love his
I will
style.
admit,
the Ahead's just bad.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Terioka's got an interesting art style, and he does some designs I like and some I do not. But yeah, no, this is one of the ones where I am on the side of I don't really like this. So yeah, give me one sec.
There are some cool elements though. It's not all bad.
Well, and it's not like you know what designs I like from him. The Tyrann are in 00, and the Tyranns are all great. Those are also him.
Yeah, true. Tyranns are cool.
So that's my thing with Terioka is it's like it's just this is one of those design sets that I just do not like. And I think his design sensibilities are also a little weird in general for Gundam, like, going all the way into, like, his future work, and, like, there are some suits in G-Witch that he does that are real weird, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he also, does recognizable vehicles and such. Anyway, the Ahead, though, for what we're talking about here, this is the GNX-704T Ahead. This is sort of a successor to the Jinx. This is a weird one, though, because the Jinx gets two successors, right? You have the Jinx-3, and you get the Ahead, in terms of what the A-Laws are using in 00. I don't actually, off the top of my head know what the difference between, what makes one preferable to the other, in terms of, just, what they are meant to do in the setting. Apparently, okay, so the Ahead was designed by former HRL engineers, which would explain why, you get the guy who made the Tyrann to make it. And they are sort of reverse engineering, the ideas of the Jinxes, because, the Jinxes were not... The Jinx is weird, because, the Jinx was given to the, different, factions on Earth. But, this machine is actually made by, one of the 3 economic blocks that have now become the A-Laws, all united.
So, actually, here's a question.
Uh-huh.
Presumably, the Jinx was basically put together by Ribbons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's by Alejandro Corner, but
it's
delegated
yeah,
to Ribbons,
it's using Celestial Beings' resources, though. Yeah.
But so then going on, are the 2 and the 3 and the 4, are those all Innovate designs?
Ooh.
Or is it or at that point do Federation engineers take over?
I don't actually know that. I wonder, So the Jinx-3, the interesting thing with the Jinx-3 is that it actually feels simpler, is the thing, right? It cuts off the collar attachments and stuff. It's a weird design in that it feels like a simplification of the Jinx's ideas. From what I can see on the wiki, it looks like it's just the UN developed the Jinx 2 and 3, which I guess is technically the UN are the ones who developed the Jinx as well, the original, even though it was also with Alejandro's backing and whatnot.
I think that can be misleading. So, okay, first of all, on the 3, so you're talking about the part where it says manufacturer, and it does say United Nations Forces for the 2. For the 3, it says Earthsphere Federation, which, of course, I guess at this point has absorbed the UN at that point in history, right? But it's saying that as manufacturer. That's not necessarily the same as designer, right?
Yeah.
I think obviously at the scale that they're doing them, it would make sense that the Federation and the UN are the ones putting them together. But is it just data they were handed? Because if the Ahead is our only view of them trying to come up with their own design, that's interesting.
Yeah, because I don't know actually, because I'm looking through it and it's just a lot of the things are just these are what they're using after the time skip, right? We don't get a lot of detail, even with the Jinx 2, which is the stopgap, right? Which feels like they planned for, because when they made the anime season 2, they called it the Jinx 3 after the original was just the Jinx. So it's okay, they're clearly leaving room for there to be something in between, for the in the time gap. But I'm trying to look, and even the Jinx 2's stuff is, there was a base, there was a UN base that was attacked by Von Spock, and that was the first time we see the Jinx 2. We don't get a lot of detail about its developmental history. It's just on a UN base.
But the fact that we do for the Ahead, where it specifically talks about these former HRL engineers, etc., makes me feel and also because in 00, when the some of the Innovate use machines show up, right? People remark wait, what is that machine? But no one's wait, where did that get made? Where did it come from? Right?
Yeah.
It's just oh, where do any of these machines come from?
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, with the Aheads are piloted generally by the former HRL pilots, now that I'm thinking about it, right? Because, I guess...
True.
Well, Luis is in one of them, actually, now that I think about it, and then you have the Mr. Bushido one, so I guess it's not only them.
Well, Yeah, but I mean, there's this Andre is in one, and
Soma.
And Barak Zinin, and I don't know where he's from, but sure.
Yeah. I was thinking at first though, yeah, I was mainly thinking of it because of Andre and Soma being like the main ones that I think of with the Aheads. But I was like, oh wait, I guess Luis is in one, and so is but you know.
I guess Barak is probably supposed to be American.
Yeah, he's
partially because he has a flat top, and partially because he talks about how he has a beautiful blonde-haired wife, like specifically.
I completely forgot about that. I'm trying to see if I can. Is he the one that is like actually the one who he's like the one that Luis respects, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's like sad
Yes.
when he gets killed. Okay. I'm like looking real quick. I was like, does it ever say? No, it doesn't mention what country he's from. Like where, that's just interesting that they don't mention his prior military history at all in anything.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Yeah.
Wiki.
What?
It specifically said, before he was married to a beautiful blonde-haired wife, lost both, blah, blah, blah. And then we have a picture in the gallery. I'm going to post it here. How would you describe that hair?
That's definitely more of a brunette hairstyle or hair color. That is not blonde.
Or like chestnut or something, right? Like that's distinctly not blonde.
But it's darker than blonde. It is a darker hair color than blonde. Yeah, no, that is weird.
Okay, well maybe maybe he's not American if she's not blonde.
Okay. Anyway,
my logic is so bad here.
Whatever. Anyway, either way, let us talk about this machine, the Ahead. So
sure.
Starting with the head of the Ahead, we've got a kind of a strange head. It is like you took the Jinx's head and you've kind of like made it like it's hard to compare. Like okay, it's something I want to compare though because they are like clearly like made with the same design idea in mind. Like they have the 4 eyes and all that. So you know what? Let me grab a picture of the. Do we have any good pictures of like the Jinxes?
Here. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So like, we have at the top, located at the top of the head, you have 2 head Vulcans. You have like a middle sensor in the middle of the head that is. It seems to be like a solid sensor. It's not like covered in glass, but it is analogous to like the dark purple one that's in the middle, like the middle eye of the Jinx there. You've got, rather than an X-shaped cut, you've got a line, 2 horizontal lines, one above, one below. The above one has a bit of a curve to it, and the below one has some harsher angles on it, going down at the edge. And you still have 4 embedded eyes, much like the Jinx. Then you've got, around the base of the head and the chin, you have like sort of a chin strap thing, which again is kind of analogous to the Jinx's. It's just a very different shape. The middle of the chin part protrudes, and then when it goes around the edges, it's almost got like it zigzags, almost like it's got like a beard going on with it. And then you have some cuts also like on the side of the head that like imply head vents. It's a weird thing to compare because, like I said, it's quite a bit different in overall shape and design, but there are some analogous features that are just like, oh, hey, the 4 eyes, the middle camera, the head Vulcans,
It's interesting because it feels like, I mean, first of all, the middle, like, head sensor thing just looks out of place.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks slapped on compared to the Jinx, where it feels really well integrated. The eyes are kind of interesting. I still like the Jinx's better, but a lot of this look is like it is trying to do more like it is trying to look more like a helmet you could wear.
Yeah.
Right? Like an actual like armored helmet, whereas the Jinx is trying to look like a face.
Yeah.
In a different way.
You can see sorry, just was throwing that in there. Just another view of the head for the Ahead. From the side there. I like that view of it.
It's true. That's cool looking.
But it's like, yeah, one problem I have with this design, and especially the head here, is I wish I had a secondary color to break it up.
Yeah,
because
that
it's
would help a
all
lot.
in one color. Like, even the Jinx, you have the face and the forehead part in white, then you get the gray going around, like the kind of warm grayish color. Then you get the even darker gray for the, like, round parts on the sides of the head. And then for this design, you really only get, like, you do get dark gray on the Vulcans, but other than that, it's all just that same kind of, like, not a flattering color of red, in either form. Now, the Sete makes it look almost like kind of like a slightly more pinkish red, whereas in the show it looks more maroon, I guess you would say, or something. Like it's a darker color in the show, which is interesting.
Something.
Either way, I think the colors just being so solid don't do this any favors, though. I think the head could have used like maybe the chin parts could have been a different color or something. It just feels like it needs something to break it up a bit.
It's a little too emblematic of season 2's, like, everything needs to be easy to animate.
Yeah. So the next part of this design would be the torso. The torso on this design is very weird. So for the main body, it feels like it is wearing a breastplate, because it all feels like one forged piece of armor rather than like a bunch of like sections or anything. Like, you do have like the area in front of the neck is colored in that same orangish color that the forehead is in. But other than that, it's all like one solid piece almost. It has a little bit of panel lines along the top of it, and then you get some panel lines like going down the sides and at the bottom, but it's like just a solid rounded part, and it kind of makes it hard to tell the definition of the chest, if I'm being honest, like especially in the Sete, because it's so simple. It does have a cut going around the front of it in sort of a U shape with like little arms at the end of the U and then a single dot in the middle. And then
I do appreciate the way this is greebled up in the HG, right? Which, frankly, I think it once you're looking for an HG for more detail, that's a sign that the Sete art is shitty Sete.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be frank, but they add more like lines. They make the like indentation of that sort of like what symbol is that? Because it is like doing a Greek symbol. I mean, it's like a modified one, but it's basically like an inverted omega.
Yeah, it's
with
like
a dot in the middle.
Let's see. Well, normally the upside down omega would be the ooh. Is that actually a Greek letter? No, it is not a Greek letter. It is the Latin upsilon.
Okay.
Also just called a horseshoe bucket inverted omega. And it is used for, I think it's just like used, it has a couple of uses, seemingly. Oh, there's also, okay, Mo, which is ohm spelled backwards, which is used for, what is this used for? For the Simons, which is a unit of electrical conductance. Okay. Weird. Anyway. But, yeah, no, it looks really good on that, especially on that, like, detailed high grade, that, magazine model there, for the kit review. I should say that, you're looking to buy the, base high grade without customizing it, not quite as good looking, just to share that real quick.
Oh, that's been customized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the wiki is just posting pages from a magazine and then just labeling it as the high grade, but no, that is a magazine model. That is a magazine model that has been updated quite a bit for, because that's, I mean, it tells you things you can do, but yeah, here is the actual model out of box, as built by Dalong. Which you can see does not have all the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Does have some kind of, it is shiny going on there. I'm gonna see, is that like just a black part underneath? Let me look. No, it does have a clear piece underneath. That's interesting. Okay. There's like a clear part that goes over a black part inside of the chest there. Because you can see in the breakaway of the chest there, the clear, and then there's the black part that is underneath. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's how it gets that shine there going on with both. But yeah, and honestly, I think the high grade just handles the proportions a bit better. Specifically with the next
True.
part we'll talk about, which is so one part from the Jinx that is carried onto this design, but in a really weird way, are these segmentations where the arms are. So on the Jinx has these large, and like if you've ever built the kits for the Jinx, it has these large parts that are on like the pectoral areas on the left and right of the body. And on the model kits, these are separate, like, completely from the torso. Like, these move on their own forward and back, you know, and have, like, a lot of their own butterfly. These are kind of analogous to that, but they're, like, so far away from the torso. But, like, you can even see they have, like, a cut there in the torso, so they would still be able to do, like, the butterflying back and forth, I imagine. But, yeah, so it's got these, like, large segmentations that are just separate. They're a bit they are a bit pointed on the front. They end
I would say, like,
an edge.
the kind of like a teardrop shape with the, you know, the point of the teardrop facing towards the camera.
Does have, like, an extra little, like, plate of armor on the bottom, and then, you have a horizontal line along the top front of it with a little, like, orange built-in vent or some such there. And then the arms are now attached to the end of this section. For the arms, you've got black armor piece going around the top. Has, like, a little hole at the end of it. It's very rounded. And it goes around just kind of the top of the bicep. Then the actual bicep, and, well, it's not even the bicep, this is, I guess, the shoulder piece, because that would be the bicep below, so you've got, like, this long, red part, that is just, you know, armor going around, again, very rounded, very... It's not very boxy in the way that, like, again, a lot of Gundam designs go, and this is kind of a Terioka thing, just having this, like, almost feels like an L-shaped, like, piping or something of armor. You know? Just because it doesn't have, like, lines going all over it, and it's clearly rounded around the base of it and around, you know, up there.
It can be a good thing, right? It can be effective, but Terioka just loves to draw awkward-looking lanky boys.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I would like to see Terioka's actual art, because, of course, you know, with the Sete, a lot of these are redrawn, and I think 00 in general has some bad-looking Sete, even on really good designs. So
you don't have an art book for this one, do you?
I don't think so. I would have to dig around. I'll do that after I cover the rest of it. I'll see if I can find some. So the actual bicep then starts quite a bit lower than you expect. And it's just a circular bicep piece with a little bit of a cut. Has a little bit of armor going down around the joint, and then, you know, a cut in the front and back for the joint. Then you've got a
sorry,
joint.
I just want to stop myself real quick. I keep saying his name wrong. It's Kenji Teraoka. Yeah. I always want to say Terioka. Yeah, I apologize.
Kenji Teraoka. Then, yeah, so then you've got kind of a standard double joint going on. The lower arm... I should say the back of the joint, you do have an elbow pad going on. And then... For the lower arm, you've got a very rounded, simple lower arm. Does have, like, a cut in it that I presume maybe the wrist can, like, rotate along that. Separately from, like, you know, the bicep and arm rotating, which is kind of neat. Then you've got I believe there's a hard point on the side of the arm, or on the back of the arm, maybe, that we're not seeing, because we can see the shield here. Does just look like it's floating in place, but I presume there's a hard point of some sort.
It's hard to tell where it would be, because here it looks like it would be on the back, but from the back view, the shield has been moved to the side, so we would be able to see it.
Yeah, you know? I'm wondering if you know how I was postulating that this was like a rotation? I wonder if the front, if they rotated the arm, you know what I mean? In that way, like on that point. Yeah. I'm gonna see real quick, actually, I'm gonna just check Dalong's review and see, like, if it's got a special mount or how it is. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's just like a little, it's got like a little, just mounting, very simple mounting mechanism there. So.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Anyway, then moving on down, around the wrist, you get another little, like, segmentation. And then, for the hands, you get claws. It's got, like, the Jinx kind of beam, or, GN claws, that you have on the design. Alright, and then moving on to the waist, you've got very weird waist, kind of wide, not on the whole, like the base, well, even the base of it's kind of wide now that I'm like looking at like how boxy the like crotch area is. So yeah, you've got like this just kind of a singular plate of armor going around the front of the crotch. You can see like the underparts are in a darker color. You've got not even really side skirts. It's almost just like these boxes of armor located like on the top of the leg. That, you know, kind of pop down a very little bit. And then on the rear, you have some thrusters. And the thrusters on this design are interesting. We'll talk about them because there's some more attached to the little back area around the GN drive. But it's got, like, these black bases with, like, these little flaps of orange around the back of them. And it's got one of those on the rear of the waist. The legs, on account of having no skirts or anything, these are very thick legs, though. Very wide. They go especially far out. They have a bit of a cut, so the end of the upper right of the thigh is, like, flat. But otherwise very rounded for a lot of the rest of the design here. Not really any detail on it. You've got a smaller joint for the upper leg, and then interestingly, that smaller joint connects into a much larger joint right below it. And then for the calves, you've got kind of large knee parts going up. The knees have a large, like, flat chunk taken out of the top of them. So it's like that's like the cut where the joint is. Just interesting the way it's cut there. Then, again, as you go down, it kind of is just very organic and rounded in shape, around the back. No extra thrusters or anything like that. You do get some ankle armor around the base of the leg, protecting the foot joint, and then around the heel, you actually get, like, a pop-down bit of, armor as well. And then for the foot, it's connected in via just a large circular, joint there. You've got, toe and heel. There's a bit of a gap between the toe and the heel. It's not quite like super high heel, but it does have a bit of a gap there. And then you've got some red armor on the like top of the foot, but otherwise it's mostly just in black for the toe and the heel parts. Finally, the backpack, it has a GN drive plugged in. Very much just the Jinx GN drive mount, complete with like the little screws going around it, like these little parts that can pop out to pop the GN drive out. And then the additional part is you've got attached onto like the sides these little blocks that then have these large flat thrusters that are kind of popped up around the not quite around the shoulder even. They're like above like where the shoulder's connecting into that part of the torso that sticks out. And then you get these a lot of these little flat like thruster veins on the back. And yeah, this is a weird design. Its shape is strange. It has a lot of familiar things to it, but it's still really weird. One piece of equipment I want to talk about before like the weapons and everything even is this has a long-range booster that can be connected into the back of it. It just kind of plugs into the GN drive. And it looks like it is basically just like some extra things for making... I don't know how it works. I presume it just, like, makes the GN particles, Okay, they have extra GN condensers on them, as well as, like, little GN verniers, so yeah. It just increases the, like, battle range of where it can be launched from.
We do have... we do have some rear art where, for some reason, it's missing the top part of the booster. I guess just the perspective or whatever cut away, but you can see...
Yeah. I think, I'm wondering if, this is the long-range backpack 2, that is the long-range backpack 1. There are two different versions of it.
Okay, sure, why not?
Yeah. I I guess the later, the one with the extra parts on top is used later by, Mr. Bushido, I believe. Or no, it's used by Andre, but when he's going with the Regnant and the Susanoo, sorry. Anyway. Yeah, so some long-range boosters, for the backpack, that are optional. Alright. Armaments. We've got a GN beam rifle. This one's an interesting one. It is, an upgraded version of the Jinx's, beam rifle. It is, kind of an interesting design. So that's the long barrel version of it that you have there. Obviously you can see in the art it is holding the short barrel one.
It's holding the submachine gun.
Oh, sorry, that's the submachine gun. Sorry, I didn't realize. Okay.
Here's the submachine gun.
Okay. It's funny though because when you look at it, it is doing the same thing as the Jinx. Though this one actually the barrel does change quite a bit. Unlike the Jinx, where the argument is that the barrel just changes the range and accuracy, but not like the power of the beam rifle at all. But yeah, so so it has like this large blocky stock on the back of it, and then you can see like all the attachment points around the barrel there, where the extended barrel connects into. You can also see these little square parts on the side, and I imagine these are actually the attachment points for these extra condensers that it attaches when it's using the long barrel there.
I will say thank you to Chris for these weapon images.
Yep, because MAHQ does have them, while the wiki, I think it only has them on a larger image of all the little extra parts there. Anyway, then moving on to the next thing. So, well, I guess I should just say, the rifle is generally used as just like a rifle, obviously, singular shots. The submachine gun, going off its name, it fires more as a rapid-fire weapon. It does have GN beam sabers. They are just simple beam sabers. They are in the shoulders. The orange-colored parts right here, okay, so apparently that's what these are. These doors slide open, and the beam sabers are kept in there. And it just mentions their performance is equal to the ones used by the Gundams, because, if they clash with them, they are simple orange, or they are orange-colored beam sabers with a black handle. And, they're beam sabers, you know what those are. If you're on the show, you know what those are. Has a GN shield. The GN shield that it has is able to do a GN field as well around the shield. So, it's a GN shield. It has the Vulcans into the head. These are 30mm GN Vulcans. It does use the same NGN bazooka that everything ALAWs and otherwise uses. It's the one that the Jinx has and all that. There are some large and small missile launchers for it. I'm trying to see what these are. These missile launchers. Oh, interesting. Okay, so these actually do have a unique design. Here they are. Nope. It'll let me open. Wonder if these have better images on the. Does MAHQ actually have these?
They have the big ones. They don't have the little ones.
Okay. Here's like all of them together. There's the big ones are just these giant containers that it hauls around. So yeah, those are the big ones actually, because these are the little ones, which are the little things that they attach to the underside of the arms. It looks like. I
like that the little ones are just like hard points, right? There's nothing else to them. They're just little sleds you strap missiles to.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the large ones though, yeah, it's just like a big container that it kind of just carries. It has like a little handle that can slide out, and then it has these large missiles in it, large GN missiles.
I should have also posted the shield when you mentioned it.
Oh yes, yeah,
there's the shield. It's a pretty simple design.
So these parts on the waist, these little racks here, can also carry GN field hand grenades. I don't even remember these. Apparently the Jinx 3 also has these. I do not remember these hand grenades. But
what do they trap you in a GN field? Is that the idea?
here's what they look like. The way that they work is it explodes and disperses a substance that creates a GN field-like effect that... Oh, it does the anti-beam fields, right. When they throw these and then you can't shoot the beams through them. I do think I remember that happening a couple of times in the show. Okay. But yeah, and I guess the 4 little cylinders are like just... They pop with a bunch of, GN radiation as a big field.
Mm-hmm. They're like anti-beam Mentos.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Ahead. This is a weird suit, as we have talked about. It is it's neat an idea. It is trying to do some, interesting stuff with it, but... one thing I do want to show, just because this is kind of cool, it ties into what we talked about with the high grade. Here's a breakaway of the chest. So you can see the way that the arm connects into there. So, yeah, that point right here, the between, the arm and the torso, that, extra part there, is basically just, a thing that, 1, makes the arms go out further, and 2, I guess provides, an extra, a bit of range of movement, forward and back, and then also, it can rotate. That's interesting. Then you can see the little pocket, basically these little side skirt pockets popped open there, and there's the little, field grenades. You can also see the chest with the front breastplate removed, and you can see, there's the glass thing. It's very much like a secret Jinx underneath, right? It's got the big circular part with the, that probably does, the GN stuff in there, where the GN drive is plugged into on the back. But yeah, it's a weird machine that, whether or not I like it really just depends on what particular version of it I'm looking at any particular time. Generally, I am not a huge fan of the Ahead, though, if I'm being honest.
I think its backpack unit is really cool. The rest of the machine also exists.
There's also a special Ahead that we see in Celestial Being the movie. I just should note that. This is what the Aheads look like in that.
A fictional one to be made to look cooler.
I kind of like it. This one's kind of fun. I mean, the Celestial Being the movie designs are fun to me because, they're all very goofy.
Well, and you have to try and make this thing look sinister, and so you have to make it look cooler.
But yeah. Alright. There are a couple of variations of the Ahead that we see. So, the ones that we would want to talk about, I'll talk about the animated ones first, and I guess it would be the Sakigake would probably be our next one.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Smultron is... I was just going alphabetically, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a toss-up either way, so we'll just do that.
Yeah. So, we have the Ahead Sakigake, which is Mr. Bushido's Ahead, as, a customized version of the Ahead. Actually, has quite a few changes, surprisingly. Changes more than you would think.
Yeah, it's pretty different.
Yeah, 1 second. I was curious, did they make a model of this? I'm just looking real quick. Yes, they did. Okay, they didn't do the Smultron or... Oh, no, they did do the Smultron as well. Okay, they did do all the Aheads as models. That's surprising. Okay. Anyway, so for this design of the Ahead, the head has changed in that it has a lot of additional armor added to the sides of it, so it's a much boxier, less rounded shape. It kind of has these, samurai helmet, little bits of armor on the bottom of it, and, of course, attached to the back of it, you've got these large black horns that serve no purpose other than Mr. Bushido as Mr. Bushido. So you've got these large horns on the back. It also has, a ponytail cable on the back of it.
Yeah.
The energy cable... Oh, okay, this can actually plug into, its equipment. So, to transfer more power, I guess, into it. Now...
Oh, sort of like a remnant of the GN flag.
Yeah.
In a way. That's
interesting. So, apparently, though, it mentions on the wiki that, Although it can power the mobile suit's GN beam saber, this energy cable is not used with this weapon as it can be unhandy. Oh, I get what it means by that. Unhandy was a weird way. It means that it's harder to wield when it's got a big cable on it. But he does use it with the I presume the beam cannons. Actually, I don't know. Well, anyway, moving on. The torso. You've got different armor design on the front of this one. This one's got black armor, and it blocks out the window that is normally there. Like, it is just like red armor there underneath. So it basically just has like an extra layer of armor like in black added to the front, but also you can't see like the cuts or anything like into the chest like you do with the standard heads. For these little side plates, like the little torso extensions before the arms, you do get these are attached to the backpack. It's just instead of horizontal, these are vertical now because I guess he needs room for the cable and his horns.
No, you know why.
Oh, is it supposed to look like a samurai like holding a banner?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a samurai with the banner on the back.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like that.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
I didn't think about it, and then now I realized it, though, as we were talking. It's like, interestingly, these actually these are the other weapon that are added. It has these GN small beam cannons,
Okay.
which are added onto the front of them.
Does he ever use those? I don't think I've... I guess he does not use this machine for very long.
No, he doesn't use this machine for very long. Because he launches in it and then it gets destroyed.
Well, it's okay. So the wiki says it's in 5 episodes, but is it just like we see it in a hangar at one point?
I don't remember.
Or something?
I truly do not remember.
But yeah, I mean, like, listen, he does poorly.
Yeah, no, it gets its ass kicked by the 00. Anyway, alright, next up, for the arms, the shoulder armor, we have added some spikes to the end of the top of the shoulder armor. The hands and the rest of the arms are otherwise the same design. For the legs, they're mostly the same design, other than the thigh has an extra bar of armor around the front, and then the rear of the waist changes the design of the thrusters into 2 separate thrusters at an angle, that are, like, big boxes pointing at outer angles from the back of the waist. The feet and everything else, same design, though. Equipment. So, I'm confused about this cable. They kept the cable from the prior design, but he doesn't use it on anything. Even though it can be used to... So, it's just so he can have a fucking ponytail still. I hate Mr. Bushido so much. Anyway.
I feel like it's probably I would call it more, right? Like, this is still a I hate Mr. Bushido moment, right? But this feels more like an element, and they're like, and you can plug it in for more power, and he's like, that's stupid, it'll get in my way, I'm not using it.
Its actual official name, by the way, is supposed to be a head close combat type, but the development code name was Sakigake. Which is funny to me.
Sure.
So, yeah, for its armaments, besides that, it has a GN beam saber, which is a custom large one. You saw it in the hand in the one picture that you posted, but it is a large, it is a beam saber with a large handle. Let me see. Do we have art of it?
And it curves like a katana, right?
Yeah, the blade actually curves, which is funny. But yeah, it's like a thick beam saber, with a larger handle. So yeah, it is strong. Now this is a powered up beam saber because it is able to cut through the 00 Gundam's GN shield. So it was able to cut through one of the later Gundam shields. So that's at least good. But yeah.
This is him reaching for the GN short beam saber, which is basically the wakizashi to this katana.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. Look at this fucking pose. Look at this douche.
It's so funny. So it also has a GN shield. It is mounted on the right arm, which I think is because he's left-handed, right? And when he pilots, he's left-handed, I believe.
I think that's right.
Because I think that was
Correct,
well. That's the thing that comes up with his flag. Even is like when it's supposed to be him piloting the flag, he uses the weapon in the left hand instead of the right. So the shield is in his offhand, which would be his right arm. The shield.
Yes, he is left-handed.
Yeah, the shield is a different design. It's interesting because it's almost like it reminds me of like the Sazabi shield of all things. But if you look in the middle of it, it has the bar from the like the way the flags do their shields.
Oh, the spinny.
Yeah, it's got the spinny.
But it's not centered.
Yeah, no, it's longer at the bottom, and even with that part, it's longer.
How weird.
Down.
How weird.
Yeah, it's a very weird shield. It is able to I guess it is still able to rotate like and do the flippy shield thing. It's just also got it's like you took the defense rod and you built a normal shield around it. And also,
well, I mean, that's how the Jinx works as well. The Jinx also has a GN defense rod on top of a real shield.
Yeah, that is true. This little black part on top, it does mention that there is a GN condenser for charging the beam saber, and I imagine that's what the little black box on it is.
Sure.
Just for all the beam sabers plugged in. And then of course the 30mm Vulcans. So yeah, this is fine. It's kind of stupid looking. It's weird because there are elements of it I think look a little cooler than the original Aheads, and then
I definitely, I mean, I think it's dumb because Mr. Bushido is dumb, right? I think Mr. Bushido's sensibilities are poor, but I think this is a cool design. It's worth noting this is like obviously the original head is by Teraoka. This variant of it is by Fukuchi.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I got caught off guard by that. I didn't realize that Fukuchi did that on it. But yeah, so then there is the next one, which would be the Smultron. So let's switch to that.
I feel like I'd just say Smultron because there's no I in there.
I'm seeing MHQ is crediting the Sakigake to Kenji Teraoka. So who was doing the Fukuchi credit? Was it the wiki?
It is the wiki, but it is saying like the way the wiki says it makes me want to trust it, where it says like, hey, the original design is this and the modification is by.
Oh, okay. Maybe Kenji Teraoka just did like okay. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. You know, it is worth saying, like, since currently our only source for this is MAHQ, do take it with a grain of salt. I think in this situation, I believe it because it makes sense to me, but
yeah,
because it just feels like a different designer to me, frankly.
Whereas the Smultron here is still Teraoka for sure. This is the design I like. It's a weird one though, and I don't like it in its art as much, but I like it in its details and like, you know, model and whatnot. So we'll talk about it. So yeah.
Oh wow, I love how inconsistent this art is. You can see the little head antenna element is different colors.
Yeah, I mean, there's front or back. To be fair, there's a lot of animation mixed colors.
Yeah, it's
not just in Double O.
This is, you know, it's Sete art and Sete art in Double O and blah blah blah. Like it's fine.
Seed also had a lot of little random like color film miscolors.
Seed looks like shit.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying they had color film miscolors on the Sete a lot too.
Sure, fair.
Anyway, all right. So the Smultron. So starting with the head on this design, I'll just say it outright. The legs are the same as the base head. So the parts that are different are the head is a completely new head. It still has the forehead camera. Looks like, does it omit the Vulcans completely? Let me look at the close-up of the head. No, it does still have the Vulcans. just the way that these Vulcans are popped out is a little different. It's got, almost like little cat ears, basically. With the way the armor is. It's hard to see in the sete, but you can see it in this close-up, so I'll leave this up. Still has the forehead guard. Gets rid of all the armor over the eye, and around the eyes, and instead has a glass visor with the eyes shining underneath it, which this is the thing I like on this design a lot, is having the visor with the glowy eyes underneath. Then, has on the back of the head, the weird thing, has like a little, like, pod of some sort on the back. I presume this probably has something to do with, like, the weird, quantum brainwave stuff. This is some kind of weird external equipment. But, yeah, it's got, like, this weird little pod attached on the upper back of the head. The face, also, with the way that this is drawn, it just reminds me a lot of the Gaddis and the Gadessa and all that, later on. Just, like, with having the way this chin mask is and the way the eyes are. Though, funnily, this is not going to be secretly concealing a Gundam head like those are. For the torso, the front torso, again, has been changed. It still has the hole in the middle like the old torso, but it gets rid of the glass around that, and instead just has a lot of armor. The armor's a lot more flat on the front, and then it has, like, the way it's layered, there's some extra yellow underneath, so it's got, like, 2 layers of armors there. The connector pieces for the arms are the same. The shoulders are different. It has extra thrusters on the shoulders that have, like, they have the same kind of, like, segmented yellow flaps at the end of them. It also has a big yellow part at the base of them, mostly in black, though. The rest of the arm is the same design. The backpack now is a very changed design. It adds an extra, like, ring around the GN drive, and then it has this whole apparatus, that is, like, I'm curious if this is, like, able to rotate around on the ring, is the idea.
I don't think we ever see it do so. It feels like, I don't know, Tim, like, this is pure projection on my part. It feels like something that was, like, that Teraoka designed to be able to do that, and then in animation they decided that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can actually see
so
it
clear.
Posed here, like, for this game, shot right here. If you look at it, you can see that it's clearly, like, rotated.
Oh.
There.
Yeah, it is at that shot, because all the shots from the show, it's always straight up. But
just interesting. It's like a weird thruster set that is able to rotate, though, and it has, like, thrusters that, like, it is symmetrical, but it if you're looking at it in its default position, it's got, like, one section up and one section down. Each of these sections has, like, a little yellow flap in the middle of them, and then at the end you have these yellow, like, I presume these are just, like, GN particle emitters for, movement, and it's got, like, a large vent in the back, or a larger vent in the front, and then a smaller vent in the back. And then it looks like it's just able to rotate whichever way you would need it to rotate. Then for the armaments, we have a unique GN beam rifle. This one's kind of like an in-between. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll let you do that. So this one feels like an in-between design of the prior one, because it's not quite as long, and it has the GN condenser instead of the 2 on the side. It has it added onto the top. And then it cuts off, like, the little extra, like, side parts, and it adds an extra grip that is able to pop out on either side. Just interesting change there, but and then, of course, this actually is also able to remove the barrel into being the submachine gun, which, it removes the barrel and all the extra parts. And the submachine gun, it does lose the extra parts that the original heads had, like, on the side and stuff. But it still has, like, the same stock, same basic design overall. Yeah. Has GN beam sabers in the same part. Does have a new GN shield design. This one is a lot blockier. This one looks much more like a Tyrian shield. It's just a very, like, it's just a big square of armor. It's got, like, these little, protrusions on the top and bottom of it. Looks like it would be good for, like, basically
There's
looks
a little
like
Vulcan
punching.
right here.
Yeah, it has a 60mm GN Vulcan, so it's double the size of the ones in the head. That is built into the shield for defensive purposes. But yeah, it feels also like it would be a punch shield, though, just given the way that it's got the little protrusions on it. And yeah, so this is an Ahead that is meant to boost the quantum brainwaves of the pilot. So, of course, this is for our good friend Soma. Though Luis uses it later.
It's extremely funny to me that they clarify that Luis can use it as a side effect of her medication.
Yeah. I just like the head on this design a lot. That's the main thing. Even with the little goofy back thing, I actually like the head on this one. And again, this is like a design that like it's so weird because I normally like am like very anti-Ahead, but then like I look at them in animation and I'm like, oh, it looks neat. This after it had its shoulder thruster blown off, but you know, like it's this design's actually kind of neat.
Yeah, I think they consistently have cool thruster setups. I think this one has a cool head, but like a lot of just, you know, the core of the design, like literally the center of the design, the torso, the waist, the legs. I don't like on any of these, basically. The Sakigake I like a little better, but...
Well, now we have two weirdo ones. One that is still a variant, so we'll do it first. This next one is the Ahead Forcing Scout type. And this one's a freak, piloted by Amy Zimbalist from Gundam 00V. He was one of the Advanced Jinx pilots, is the main thing I know him from, because there's the, I believe
He's
the...
surprisingly...
Oh, sorry.
I just expected him to be a huge sicko, and you know, like art doesn't tell all, but he just looks like a dude.
Yeah, no. He's got kind of a cool jacket.
Yeah. It is a cool jacket. It's got like this like front like armor layer up top. That's all right.
Yeah, no, I you know, I like that he's wearing a suit underneath. Hold on, I just noticed that. Look underneath. He's got.
Well, I mean, he's wearing a shirt and tie. I don't think he has a full suit.
Yeah, it's not a full suit, but it's like he's got a dress shirt with a tie, which is a little insane to be doing with your military coat.
He looks like a motorcycle cop on the way to a business meeting.
Yeah. Very strange. But yeah. So this design is a weird one. This one is Terioka on full, just his bullshit. I kind of dig it though. Well, this one. So to talk about this design, lot of weirdness to this one. I was actually opening a separate image just to look at it bigger. So for the head, it is the base Ahead head. With a giant extra sensor, like, just put onto the front of the head. It's really weird. It's like, here, we have a close-up of it from MHQ. It's just a giant, like, almost like a camera lens is what it reminds me of here, you know?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
It is just like this, you know, extra attachment bolted over the face. And you can see, actually, yeah, even the way it shines, it's done like when you buy external lenses for, like, fancy cameras. I kind of dig it. It's a very different approach to doing, like, upgraded sensors. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think the head's great.
The torso adds additional armor over the front of it. It's, like, a weird set of layered armor, too. Like, it's this big blue box, and then it's got, like, gray struts. It's almost like... It looks like it's designed to accordion, like if it was, like, pushed, like, or, like, absorb shock, maybe?
It's a baffling design because it is the only spot there's any armor. So it's like, it is, what? How much thicker would you say? Like 8 times thicker than the rest of the armor on this suit over one spot?
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Very strange.
Yeah, I'm trying to see... Oh, no! This is a battery. This is a GN battery.
That makes more sense. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, this is like just a series of GN batteries. There just wasn't really a good place to put them, I guess. So, oh, and that way they're directly connected into the backpack for, well, obvious reasons, given all this stuff attached. Funnily, the arms are just the Ahead arms. The waist is just the Ahead waist, other than the rear skirt, instead of having the thrusters, now just has these large external tanks. It's the big water tanks too that the Space Tyrans use.
Yeah.
So it's got those for like rotation. And then along the back of it, you've got this crazy backpack setup. So on the very back, in the middle, you've got a series of GN verniers. These are called GN verniers, but they're almost like giant jet engines. They even have like little, like, I love the little, like, it reminds me of, like, you know, real jets, like, around the thrusters, just the little flaps that can pop open.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got those around the top and bottom. And then it's got, like, I presume these little side ones might be also, like, thrust or emission of some sort there. Then it's got, like, a large vertical wing on the bottom. And then also attached into this back attachment on the sides, we have these two large weapons. What are these even? I didn't actually look at what these were. I presume just large GN weapons. Let's see. These are... Yes, GN beam cannons. These are 18 meter long in total. So these are pretty big. These are as tall as a mobile suit on their own. And these beam cannons are a lot. So they're attached to these large blocks. Just huge cubes. I love these, like... Or they're not entirely cubes. They're cut at an angle on the bottom of them. But these large attachment points that are just large geometric shapes attached to the sides of the backpack. And then, yeah, the gun is mostly in blue. Then it has red armor along the top and also for the barrel. And then on the bottom, it's got, like, this little, like, laser sensor is what this almost looks like it would be. Like a little...
It's on this, like, very, like, thin
arm.
little wire. A very strange, like...
Very Star Wars tech-looking sensor there, rather than, like,
yeah.
normal 00, just because it's this long rod and very thin metal. And then it's got these large bars also that look like they are, like, meant to... Oh, yeah, these are meant to rest on these torso sections. Okay. You can see it there. So these bars are just for when it lowers, just to, like, have them in place there. And yeah, these are just huge beam cannons. They're, apparently extremely high firepower. These are meant for, like, assaulting bases.
Sure.
And yeah, these cannons are normally in an upright position to not hinder, like, the arm's movement, but when firing, they have to be down, and the arms have to be kind of set in place. And yeah, so...
It's kind of a funny thing, because, like, there's a degree of, like, why even bother with the mobile suit? But it's like, well...
it moves.
I guess, yeah. And, you know, compared to the like, these huge beam cannons, I bet it was a lot cheaper. So, yeah. I guess you might as well have something that can swing a beam saber if something gets close. Mm-hmm. To this pair of guns on engines, if not wheels. Yeah.
I mean, you know, used in space here. But yeah, so it's just like a weird kind of space assault, like base assault unit. I kind of dig it just for being, like, so bulky and weird. The colors are bizarre.
Cool. Yeah, it's got this, like, almost like periwinkle blue.
Yeah. It's surprising.
Yeah. I expected, because the picture, the cannons, like, one of the cannons is poking up, which basically, like, doubles the height of this thing, which means that at a glance, the picture is really small. Despite, like, the picture takes up a lot of space, but in the picture, the actual mobile suit is pretty small in it. Mm-hmm. And from that shot, I expected to dislike this thing, but looking at it closer, this is great.
Also kind of fun, the GN verniers on the back are ejectable. So you can see,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this whole block mechanism that was in, like, the separate art there can just, like, be removed. And then just has, like, I presume just the GN drive underneath, and then it's just got these little verniers. But yeah. Just what a weird machine. I kind of like it a lot, especially after looking at it. Much like you said, I kind of had the same feelings where I saw it at a glance. I'm like, oh god, it's another ugly weirdo. And I, like, looked it up close. I'm like, I kind of like this. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. The one model also doing a lot of favors for it. I posted it earlier, but just to post it again real quick. Of it firing the cannons in the story here. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool machine. All right, and then the other...
Sorry, repost it real quick?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes. There we go.
the way it's holding the gun and the placement of these condensers, like, it's not obviously, but it's evoking the beam Gatling on Quest's Yagdoga to me.
Yeah, the way the condensers are just on the side, these like big, yeah, it just looks like the way that
side drums looking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see
Anyway.
it. But yeah.
Great design, Quest-era Yagdoga.
And now for the other weirdo, because of course it is, because it's related to the Ahead. This is the Neo-Hed, as opposed to the Ahead.
And in this case, Neo means no, because this has no head.
Yeah. No head. So no head. Oh, that video is so funny. Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't know
I
what
have
I'm talking
no idea what you're talking about. Not the slightest.
And, hold on. It's a Vine from back in the day.
You know, I had a feeling.
Yeah. Here. Why is it right. I hate YouTube. Anyway. It's just, I don't know the context behind it, it's just...
Oh, sure. I have actually only ever seen this with no audio.
Oh.
But I am, in fact, familiar with it. Weird. Okay.
Okay. Anyway. So, yeah. So, to talk about this design, well, first of all, it has no head. That's the... I mean, it doesn't, you know. It's not a joke. Stop laughing. Shut up. Let me describe it. I'm sorry. Why were you doing... Also, why were you doing, like, the fucking laugh from the king in, fucking CDI Zelda? I'm mad. Anyway.
That's just how I laugh. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, no head, Shut up! Shut up! Don't do that. Because I'm now... I've lost my place. What was this? Okay, the torso!
Well, you should start with the head.
Shut up!
Oh!
Shut up! Alright. The torso. The segmentations where the arms connect into are now, like, all molded in, because this just has blue armor connecting the entire torso together. It has these large yellow vents, but, like, in between these yellow vents, and this will be a recurring feature on this machine, it has, like, glowing green parts inside of it. On the top of the torso, we have some sensor equipment, is what it looks like, just like these little boxes, as well as a little antenna onto one side of it. It also has this little, like, I presume that's just like a little camera. It's like a gray brick with like a little green dot on it.
We actually have a close-up of the upper sensor
Yeah.
as though it were a head, which is funny.
Yeah, huh. It's so weird. Yeah, it's just a sensor package. You know what this is reminding me of is what is that thing? It's not the Jim Kennard, is it? Yes, the Jim Kennard. From École du Ciel. Sorry for butchering the French there, but this Jim, just reminded me of that, where it's just...
Sure, yeah. I forgot about this guy.
Weird bib on top of the body that operates as the head.
Mm-hmm.
Sensors. Anyway, the Neo-Hed, though, yeah, so, otherwise, you know, similar shape overall, it's just changes the little side parts to be connected to the main body more, and then it has that big sensor bib on top of the head. The shoulders, it has blue armor for the shoulders. These shoulders are new. They're a bit bigger. They have these little protrusions at the end of them, and then on the top, it has a sensor located onto, like, these little cameras, I assume? Are these cameras, or are these... No, these might be where the GN beam sabers are now that I think about it.
Well, isn't that the GN beam saber right there?
Oh, no, that is it. Sorry, I missed it. It only has one. Okay, weird. It has one GN beam saber, and it's big, and it's there. This is like a mix of, like, the Sakigake and the Smultron, because that looks like the Sakigake's saber. Anyway, so yeah, I guess these are just cameras then, okay. But also on the back of them, it's got, like, a little hard point, and on the left arm, it has a large, solid GN sword. Just a large physical sword that can apply a GN field to it. Not to go over the weapons early, but it's just there on the art, so I had to bring it up. The bicep and lower arms are mostly the same. Or, sorry, the shoulders and the biceps are the same. The lower arms are different. It is a lot of extra blue armor. You've got these yellow flaps on the back, and in between the two yellow flaps, big green sensors. Is what it looks like. Then we've got, weirdly, the wrist and the hand armor color, instead of being red, has been changed to orange. Moving on to the waist. The waist parts are the same, mostly, but they've been recolored to blue, but it still has the pockets, and still has, like, the same crotch design, and it has the, black box with the little, flaps on the back, though the flaps are red on this one, instead of yellow. The thighs are the same, the lower legs, though, lots of extra armor, and again, the knee area, these vertical flaps of yellow that have green in between, and then on the back you have a whole bunch of them as well. And then the feet, they're kind of elongated. They look very clown shoesy, with
They do.
being elongated and rounded in red.
Or like clogs.
Yeah. Finally, the backpack. This still has the Smultron backpack ring. And then and that's basically it. For its armaments, it has a GN beam rifle that looks to be the original head beam rifle with like the two drums. However, it has a beam saber bayonet on the bottom of it. So yeah, it has that. It has the beam saber here, which yes is the Sakigake's, is very similar to that. And it has an adjustable output and blade length. And then it has the large GN sword that I mentioned. And yeah, I don't... this is a weird one. Apparently this was developed to be a candidate as, like, the next successor, like, to the Jinx and the Aheads, like, as, like, the mass production suit. And, the idea is that the Jinxes would be the lightweight suits, and the Neo-Hed would lead to a class of heavyweight suits. This did not happen, as the war ended, and then they just made more Jinxes, because of course they did. The Jinx seems to be the more adaptable design.
Well, so they did a test with two pilots, Amy and Deborah.
Hey, she's the other Advanced Jinx pilot. She has the red Advanced Jinx. Also impeccable fashion, like all the other fucking weird side story characters for 00.
In a post like test briefing, Deborah was like, this is actually I'm really impressed. This is a really effective machine. I think putting the sensors all throughout the body sort of gives you like more flexibility. You don't just have one part that can get damaged, and thus it's incapacitated. And the engineer's like, oh, thank you. And Amy was like, but it doesn't have a face. If it doesn't have a cool face, this is just kind of a worthless piece of shit.
That's so funny. Yes, a cool-looking face is necessary for a brilliant battle. He also remarked that the engineers had no idea what those in the field wanted. That's so funny.
Listen. The engineer should have seen this coming. If there is one group of people who aren't going to accept we're getting rid of the iconography and just making an effective machine, it's the fascists. Fascists love their symbols.
It's so funny. It's so funny. He's like, the head at when you have the engineer told him, like, when you have sensors throughout the body, at that point a head would just be a decoration.
And then it was like, also, you're a bad pilot.
Oh, yeah, and also, apparently, he piloted it kind of badly. It's fun seeing the little scratch build for a model that was done here. You can see they have the original Ahead model there, and you can see all the, like, white parts that are, all the additional parts.
Uh-huh.
It's just fun. I always like seeing
those. Here's the other custom, which is,
Yeah, that's the whole thing, yeah. I just posted the
right.
one, but yeah.
But the core, but yeah, once it's built up, looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like this.
Effective.
I actually like this frame.
I think I wouldn't like it if it was in the show a lot.
No,
but as just a fun design in the periphery,
the story and it made me happier about it too. Admittedly, I'm just gonna have to say. the way it works
Also,
there.
wow, have you seen Art of Deborah before?
Yeah, no, she's great.
Wow. That's somebody's, like, you know, not quite, but like, I guess, like older girlfriend, not quite goth girlfriend. The leggings get close, but the rest is like, okay, no, we're not doing goth exactly, but she's somebody's cool girlfriend.
Yeah.
Meaning no disrespect to her, it just feels like the vibe.
I know
with
her
which
because
she
she pilots the advanced Jinx that I have the model of, which is this one.
Yeah, the cool one. Yeah.
I mean, the other colors just don't look as good, unfortunately. As much as I like the advanced Jinx, I just think the blue, the really dark navy blue, doesn't look as cool. Which is funny coming from Amy Zimbalist, who is like, oh, I need it to look brilliant for battle. Fuck you.
Well, look at his outfit.
Yeah.
He likes dark blues.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is, the funny thing is, in the art, the advanced Jinx that he pilots doesn't, it honestly looks more, like, grayish in a way that I like, you know? The problem is, when the model kit came out for it was much more of a navy blue that ended up looking, it just looks like cop colors to me on the model, like a police cruiser, because it's like that, you know, the navy blue and white.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway.
I like that they tried to make, like, in Double OV, they tried to make it a thing of, like, how there's, you know, like the, you know, Red Comet and stuff. They tried to make it a thing by having Amy Zimbalist be the Steel Cowboy.
Amazing. The Steel Cowboy.
Or the Devil of Unification. That seems like a translation error.
Yeah.
That's not a title of a person. Did they try to give one to... No, they didn't give one to Deborah. Because she's... Like, they think that that's making Amy cooler. I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but it seems like something they would do to try and make Amy cooler. But, in fact, this is like when you go to a fighting game tournament and there's someone who's like, I'm Devil Hunter X, and someone's like, I'm Dave, and you're like, holy shit, Dave must be really good.
God. Also, it's funny because Amy is, okay, yeah, he is obviously American. He is from the you know, what is it? The United... I forget what it's called in Double O. What is the America again? It's a Union of Solar Energy and Free Nations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Daryl Dodge never got a nickname. Nor did,
No, he died.
Yeah, they all died.
Maybe if he'd fucking dodged, he would have gotten a nickname.
Howard Mason! What about our good friend Howard Mason? That was the other one. I was like, it's like, I remember Daryl Dodge and I remember Howard Mason. Those are the two.
Who was the guy who died instantly, though?
Oh, I think Howard was the first one to die. Because
I thought Howard was the first one to die that they liked.
Oh, right.
Is that wrong?
Well, I know that Howard is the one that...
Joshua!
Who the fuck is Joshua? Is he the one who was like...
Joshua's the smarmy.
He was the one that was trying to, like, blackmail, or... He wasn't even... What was it? What was his game? Was he just,
was just being a dick.
Yeah, he was just like, Graham, you suck.
Uh-huh.
And...
Yeah. And then he, in his first... yeah, and then... And then...
Yeah, and then he
died.
he did the Graham special, because he's like, I'm just as good as Graham. He did the Graham special, and then he dies.
Yeah, like, seconds later.
He kinda...
oh, yeah. Oh, right, it's the no-look. I forgot it was the no-look.
The what?
He does a Graham special on Lock-On, and Lock-On shoots him with a pistol without looking at him.
Amazing. I forgot about that. That's pretty good. That reminds me of,
That show's good sometimes.
That reminds me of, those guys from, the two guys, in, Gundam Wing that try to, like, fight with Zex, that are, like, you know, we're really cool badass aces.
Sure, like, Red Cancer and Blue Why do I know this? Who cares?
It's so funny. Alex is his name. His name is Alex. You know, God, his design sucks so bad. I'm sorry, I looked him up. Look at this motherfucker. What is going on? He's got the hair vents, but then he's got the weird bangs. he's got
It's
his
like
nose is flat on the front, like he's the dude from Berserk with the one Bible guy in Berserk.
He really looks like, you went into like a character creator and it was like, there aren't a lot of options here, but by God, I can still make this guy ugly.
Yeah, he's the red cancer though. Then his friend is Muller, who is the blue angel.
Yeah.
Anyway, they both get fucking wrecked. Much like Joshua.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright. Well, that's the Ahead and all the Ahead related friends. Surprising,
Well,
I started off being like, well, maybe they're not so bad, and then I kind of came out liking them a bit more than I did, funnily enough.
but it makes me just less, like, all the variants are cooler than the base Ahead.
Yeah.
The base Ahead is still just a disappointing design.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that still. Alright, well, 6. Where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me on Blue Sky at 6.scanlinemedia.com. You can find my work at scanlinemedia.com or patreon.com/scanlinemedia. Would very much appreciate your support. And you can talk with us about mecha and whatever, and Gundam and anime over on the Scanline Media Discord, link down in the show notes. Also can submit some requests. Dylan, what about you?
You can find me at LowPolyRobot on Blue Sky. I just, post games, You know by now. This is your first episode. Again, I always say it, but if the Ahead episode is your first episode, you are truly a depraved individual. Not actually. I don't want to be mean to anyone, but it's just funny. It would be a very funny episode to be a first episode, though. What do they have to say about the Ahead from 00?
I mean, listen, if this is your fave, shout outs for having an interesting pick.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, 6.
Uh-huh.
You got a closing?
Sure. This peace is what all true warriors strive for.
Okay.
Ho, ho.